ladies and gentlemen. What up? This is Kalen coming at you from Georgia here on Corner Culture. Thoughts off the mainstream. I've been offline for quite a while, and so I am making my triumphant return with a quick rant video. I was inspired by an email that I recently received from my mother, and I'm going to be sharing that with you all. I'm not going to give you her name or anything like that. But, full disclosure, just ahead of time, in case she ever happens to see this or anyone who knows her happens to see this, I still love my mother. She's still my mom, and we're all good and everything, but this email really pissed me off. As you probably know, we are 1 week out from the election of Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, and obviously it's a contentious one. And this, after this email... And after my transformation, which if any of you watch this channel regularly would know, I'm an ex-liberal, post-liberal, whatever you want to call it. I'm a quasi-conservative, mostly libertarian, Austrian. I'm a Bitcoiner, hence all the artwork in the background here and a lot of the other graphics that you'll see in this channel. I'm all about the Bitcoin, but I have some thoughts on politics as well. And the name of this show is Corner Culture because I strive to talk about cultural issues as well as Bitcoin. So first I'm going to read the email to you, then I'm going to break down my thoughts and explain that to you, and then I'm going to end with a video that I want to share of none other than Chris Cuomo, of all people, who actually got it right recently, which is surprising, but nonetheless, credit where credit's due, he got it right. So here's the email that I get from my mother out of the blue. Hey, son. Please watch and listen to the last few minutes of Michelle Obama's speech. It's a little over 7 minutes at a rally in Michigan recently. Okay, no issues there. Then she goes on. I hope you'll keep an open mind and think about your mother, your wife, your daughter, and all the women in your life and those female friends and relatives to come. What's at stake goes way beyond abortion. In advance, you know I love you. Okay, so you want me to watch Michelle Obama, a video of Michelle Obama. Like, why? She's giving a speech at a campaign rally, and that's supposed to, what, change my mind or sway me politically in some sort of way? What? No. I operate on the fucking facts. That's why I'm an ex-liberal. I actually did the research on every topic when I just felt like things weren't adding up during COVID. And I read tons of books. I listened to thousands of hours of podcasts of experts and authors and doctors and professors and biologists and psychologists and everything else. And that's what's led me to be, I wouldn't say Republican, but definitely not Democrat. Like, that is the party of absolute lies and deception. What is this 2 to 3 minutes of a 7-minute speech gonna do for me? It's gonna do nothing. I have listened. I have put in tens of thousands of hours pulling myself out of the liberal brain rot, the delusion of leftism. And you have the gall to tell me, I hope you'll keep an open mind? Mom, I'm the one who left the left. Or you could also say the left left me. I'm the one who opened my mind and went, wait a minute, I need to look at all of this. I need to look into all of this and just stop reading headlines and just buying the bumper sticker slogans as fact. I read the books. I looked into libertarianism. I read Austrian economics. I'm into Bitcoin. It led me there. My open mind led me there. You want me to keep an open mind? How about you keep an open mind? And then she has the gall to say, I hope you'll think of your mother, your wife, and your daughter. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts in this line, and I outlined them here in my notes. My first thought is, who's thinking of me when they cast their ballot? And by extension, men. Who's thinking of men when they cast their ballot? You know, the men who built modern society that you benefit from, in which you are a privileged, white, straight female living a life of middle-class luxury, especially on relative terms, when talking about the world as a whole, who built that? Who maintains it for you? Men. Who's sending rockets into space so that we can be an interplanetary species? Men. Who created the internet and runs and operates the internet, by and large? Men. All the technology that you use around you all fucking day long. Who invented it? Who builds it? Who maintains it? Men. Your mechanics, your electricians, your plumbers, your bricklayers, your roofers, the oil riggers out in the middle of the goddamn ocean? Men. The crab fishermen, the farmers that bring the food to your fucking plate, the truckers? Men. So who's thinking about the men when they're casting their fucking ballots? Who's thinking of me when they cast their ballots? All right, so that's the first thing. And the second thing, you want me to think of you and my wife and my daughter because I have a baby on the way? You abso-fucking-lutely bet your ass that when I cast my ballot for Donald J. fucking Trump, I'm going to be thinking of you, Mom. I'm absolutely going to be thinking of you. And I absolutely, by the way, am thinking about my wife and my daughter and her future when I vote for this man. And here's why. I may be casting my ballot for Donald J. Trump, but what I'm really doing is casting my vote for his team, Team America. I am casting my vote for the team who is pro-Bitcoin, pro-nuclear energy, bringing energy costs down, which by extension, brings the cost down of everything else. This is Economics 101. I am voting for the team with RFK Jr. on it. Make America healthy again. Our food is poison. Our food is fiat. Our healthcare system is fiat. It's destructive. Big pharma owns our system, owns our politicians. I'm going to vote for the guy who's going to rein that in and make America healthy again. And I'm thinking about my daughter when I think about that. And then you got Tulsi Gabbard, a woman who's going to be on Trump's team to advise him on war matters. You want to know another reason why I'm thinking about my daughter when I vote for this man? Because Tulsi's going to be on the team, and she, an ex-Democrat, is going to be advising Trump on matters of war. She's very anti-war. Trump is very anti-war, and she's going to help with that. If there's anyone on this planet, any politician out there who I believe has a chance of actually creating or advising sensible war issues and situations internationally across the planet when America's involvement therein, it's Tulsi fucking Gabbard. All right, I'm voting for that team. Vivek Ramaswamy, self-made billionaire from an immigrant Indian family, a brown-skinned man who rejected wokeism and has made himself extremely successful in a very short amount of time, especially on the political stage. I'm voting for that fucking guy. And you know who else I'm voting for? Elon motherfucking Musk, the man who just caught a 23-story motherfucking rocket with chopsticks on the first attempt. The man who's creating electric vehicles, because green is the way to go, right? And we got to be all fucking green and shit. The guy who's creating robots, creating AI robots, autonomous cars, internet satellites in space. Yeah, I'm voting for that guy because he's on Team Trump too. And there's a myriad of other names. Brett Weinstein, brilliant genius biologist. Dave Smith, libertarian thinker and comedian. And apparently recently, Tony Hinchcliffe is now on Team Trump. That's who I'm fucking voting for. I'm voting for Team America. I'm voting for the team who's going to make America great again, who's going to restore what this country ought to be, not just a fucking cesspool of completely unvetted people waltzing into this country illegally. I'm not voting for that anymore. I'm not voting for excessive regulations that prevent energy exportation or creation or mining or anything of that nature. We need nuclear. We need cheaper coal. We need cheaper gas. We need cheaper petroleum. We have plenty of it right here at home. I'm voting for the team who's going to try and keep jobs on our soil. And by the way, the guy who is I don't know if it's doable, but at least he is saying he's going to try to reduce taxes in a number of different ways. Taxation is motherfucking theft. You are stealing from me when you tax my income. You are literally making me part slave. You are stealing my purchasing power. You are making the hours that I work, or weeks or months out of the year that I work, for the government and not for me and my family. So I'm voting for that fucking guy. The guy that's going to allow me to take more or all of my paycheck home with me so that I can take care of my fucking daughter and my wife and myself. I'm voting for that guy. Speaking of teams, who's on your team? Oh, that's right. You guys have celebrities and musicians. And by the way, I'm saying that as an ex-musician. I was a career musician for 2 decades. I'm sorry. I know musicians really well. Are they people who have any fucking room to talk when it comes to politics? Absolutely not. Especially Hollywood elitists, Hollywood elite musicians who got there, as we are coming to learn over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, who get there through very nefarious means or very unscrupulous behavior. Okay, who's on your team? Fucking P. Diddy. Who's on? Oh, and by the way, you know who else is on your team? Dick fucking Cheney. Dick motherfucking Cheney, the architect of the Iraq War that killed over 1 million innocent people. That's who's on your fucking team. I'm not voting for that fucking team. I'm not voting for those guys. Are you kidding me? Give me a fucking break. What has your team brought us? I made a list. Men and women's spaces. That's what your team brings us. So again, you want me to think of my daughter? You goddamn right I'm going to think about my daughter when I cast this ballot. I'm going to think about making sure that in this goddamn country, when she goes to use a bathroom or when she gets involved in sports, she's not going to be competing against men. So you're goddamn right I'm going to think about her when I vote. Rampant illegal immigration. My wife is an immigrant. She is a legal immigrant. She came here legally. She paid thousands upon thousands of dollars, as you are supposed to do. She spent thousands of hours reading and writing and completing forms and mailing them and shipping them and driving back and forth between UPS and FedEx and USPS. She went through the proper channel. She got her I-20 visa to go to school. She got her OPT, occupational practical training certification. She extended it, and then she applied for an I forget the work visa that she got, H-1B work visa, and then we got married. And she came here through legal means. So you bet your goddamn ass I'm going to think about my wife when I cast this vote. If you're going to come to this country, you'd better be vetted. I don't want just random ass people coming in here that haven't been vetted. And I don't want the fucking shit. I don't want the riffraff from your other countries. Not all cultures are equal. They're not. Get over it. It's the fact of life. If you're going to come into this country, you had better be willing and able to assimilate. And you had better understand what this country stands for and what this culture means and what it is that makes this country great and unique. So you bet your goddamn ass I'm going to be thinking about my wife when I vote for Donald J. Trump. Higher costs of living. I moved to Georgia to escape the higher cost of livings of Boston and LA. All right, so you bet your ass I'm going to think about my family. Regulation. Yeah. Democrats do nothing but excessively regulate. Trump was very good at deregulating things and allowing industry to move in, allowing free markets to operate like free markets are supposed to operate. So you bet your fucking ass I'm thinking about my family. DEI and racism and division. The Democrats and the leftists in particular, are the most divisive, intolerant, bigoted people on earth. They scream social justice and equality until it comes to the equality and tolerance of thought and opinion. They're the party of censorship. I'm sorry, but I'm an old school liberal. I'm a Kennedy style liberal. I believe in free speech and free markets. Okay, and when you come threatening to take guns and censor speech, fuck right the fuck off. You ain't got my vote. In fact, I'll vote against you every day of the week. What else we got? Political persecution and lawfare. It's so obvious for what they're doing for Trump. They tried to assassinate his character. They tried to assassinate his business and his income and take his properties away from him. And then they just tried to outright kill him. And they failed every step of the way because the man is just bulletproof for somehow, which is just amazing. I don't know how. Democrats are the party of lies and hoaxes. The very fine people hoax, the bloodbath hoax, not to mention Russiagate dragged this entire country for 2.5 years through a complete and total lie. The Trump-Russia server was completely fabricated, it turns out. And that was supposed to be the nail in the coffin on Russiagate. And it was totally made up, completely fabricated. Now, you want to talk about fake news? How about the left's fucking fake news? higher taxes, and then war, war, war. Of course, Democrats are now the party of war. You know, somehow between the Republicans and the Democrats over the last 20, 30 years, they just completely swapped on this issue. And it's amazing. And it happened under everybody's noses. Nobody seems to notice. It was the goddamn Republicans that were pro-war 30 years ago. And now it's the goddamn Democrats. And the Republicans are anti-war. At least the MAGA faction of the Republicans. So you bet your goddamn ass, Mom, that I'm going to be thinking about you when I vote for Donald J. Trump. I'm going to be thinking about my wife when I vote for Donald J. Trump, and I'm absolutely going to be thinking about my daughter when I vote for Donald J. Trump. Now, I'm going to play this video here because I want you to listen to Chris Cuomo actually explain quite well, quite succinctly, what it is that attracts people to Donald Trump. And I know your deranged little mind could never possibly comprehend this. So take this from a former, corporate press propagandist, straight from the horse's mouth.
You got to stop thinking that the people who support Trump are like Trump, that they speak like Trump, that they act like Trump. They don't. They want to hire Trump to do a dirty job. They want him to be a virus to the political corpus. They want him to disrupt, to destroy, to demean those that they disrespect and dislike, the system that they distrust and despise.
The system that they distrust and despise. Because if COVID taught me anything, it taught me that the system is completely fucking corrupt. And it does nothing but lie to the advantage of itself. It is a self-preservation mechanism, and it will lie to the end of the goddamn earth through its own teeth, and it will use the printing press, the power of the printing press, to corrupt any and every institution that it needs in order to keep the veil up over everybody's eyes. To keep I was going to quote a song, but I don't think I have the quote for me. So anyway, to disrupt the system.
They want someone to do what they believe has been done to them and that they cannot do themselves. That's why they don't care that he exhibits terrible behavior, because they're putting him into a terrible place. If you're sending somebody into the jungle, do you really care if they're a savage? You see what I'm saying? And you have to understand it that way. You may not agree, you may not accept, you may not like, but that's what it is.
Spot on. When you're sending somebody into the jungle, do you really care if they're a savage? Well, that's what it is with Donald Trump. No, I don't fucking care if he's a savage. I don't care. The system is corrupt and it needs to be fixed. And we need somebody in there who has at least somewhat of a shot, or at least is espousing the rhetoric and at least making the promises of fixing this shit. All right? So that's why I'm voting for Donald J. Trump. And no fucking 2 to 3 minutes or even the whole 7 minutes of some stupid rhetoric coming from a political speech from Michelle Obama, a woman who has achieved absolutely nothing in her life except destroying food in government schools. And she's despised by Gen Zs for it. The only achievement she has in her life is being the wife of the first black man that was elected in the United States as president twice. That's her achievement. She didn't start a business. She never ran for office and won. That's not her accomplishment. Her accomplishment is that she was married to the guy who got elected twice. You want me to listen to her speech, and that's going to what? Change my fucking mind? Get the fuck out of here. It's ridiculous, stupid shit. The derangement on the left is just, it knows no bounds. It knows no fucking bounds, and it's incredible. Well, anyway, on that note, like I said in the beginning of the video, I still love you, Mom. We're still cool and everything, but get the fuck out of here with this stupid bullshit.